Okay, it looks like the EU is really trying to stronghold a lot of these citizenship by investment countries, and I think what they're going to try to do, I don't think they're far off from it from what I'm reading. I think they're going to try to probably pass a bill. They've seen what these sanctions can do to Russia. You can imagine what it could do to a small Caribbean country like St. Kitts or these other ones. And you saw what happened in 9/11. We're even in a worse situation right now because we've got the threat of a country that might even use the atomic bomb. So I mean, these are the types of things that they're trying to. They don't. In fact, now you can bring an atomic bomb. They've got them where you can literally bring them in a suitcase to a country. And the last thing you want to do is give citizenship to a wacko guy that ends up doing stuff like that. And I think what you're going to see is the EU using stuff like this as a way to get around people getting the citizenship by investment. And I'm reading more and more articles that are coming up now, and I think within 2 to 5 years, I don't think it's going to be that much longer. I think they're going to try to come in with laws basically stating that if you have a citizenship by investment program and you're not going to do away with it, sovereign countries should be able to have a choice, which they do, but they'll make it where it's very draconian. I think the two measures they'll do exactly what they did to Vanuatu. That is, they will strip the visa-free travel to the Schengen countries, which basically takes away most of the countries from Europe. That's number one. Number two is they will cut off tourism. And remember, tourism is the number one industry in St. Kitts. It's not citizenship by investment. It's tourism. If that's cut off from Canada, the U.S., and from the UK, where most of all our tourism is coming from, it would just devastate the economy here. And I can tell you, if they came up with the decision of either cutting off, all tourism, it wouldn't be hard to do that. You look at all the stuff they're doing against Russia. They could literally come in and stranglehold and cut this off, this citizenship by investment off. And all they got to do is say, hey, you keep your program, your citizenship fast track program, and what we're going to do is we're just going to cut off all the visa-free travel to, now of course Canada and the US, they don't have visa-free travel anyway with the Caribbean options, but they do with the Schengen, and that's if they take that away, that's taken away a heck of a lot. If they took that away and they said, hey, we're going to cut all plane flights, direct flights to your country, as long as you have that citizenship by investment program. Folks, I'm going to tell you something. If that happens, I can tell you St. Kitts, when 9/11 hit, they were the only ones that did not shut down. But there weren't no sanctions that were imposed back then, okay? There was just a fear factor that someone was going to get a wacko that was going to get a second passport to that country and make that country look bad. And if that happens, if they come out with draconian measures like that, I can tell you St. Kitts would get out of the citizenship by investment program if they came in and ripped the visa-free travel and says, hey, we're also going to cut all the tourism out from Canada, the U.S., and the UK. I can tell you the St. Kitts would probably end their program, okay? I'm just speaking for myself because tourism is so big here. It's number one. So, these are, now, St. Kitts, remember back in 9/11 when it occurred, everybody pulled out of the citizenship by investment program. Every single country pulled out except for St. Kitts. A few of them came back years later, but it took years before that happened. Also, folks, if you want to legally get your income taxes to zero or how to get a second passport as quick as 45 days, do three things. Hit the subscribe button at the right of your screen. You'll get new videos automatically. And number two is I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. And number three is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help. So if they end up putting these draconian measures in place, St. Kitts is not blind, neither is St. Lucia or the other fast-track programs. They've seen what sanctions can do in a few days to a huge country like Russia, and I can tell you they're not gonna accept sanctions like that. And I think this was kind of a wake-up call, because I don't think really even the people that put the sanctions on really knew the devastation. They could literally take a country, and they don't need an atomic bomb. They can strip it down to nothing just by not doing business with that country and making other countries do the same thing, or they're going to be on a sanction list too. And I think China, for instance, is looking right now at, they were looking at bombing Taiwan, and she would have to be an absolute idiot to go in and bomb Taiwan after he's seen what's happened to Russia. I mean, this is a real education wake-up call for him. If this guy's got any smarts at all, he's not going to try to do what Putin did to Ukraine. I can't imagine that happening. But the reason I'm bringing this point out, folks, I think there's a good chance the EU might try to impose really draconian restrictions to the point it's going to drain out these citizenship by investment programs. I'm really serious about this. I don't think in 5 to 10 years from now, I don't think you're going to see them. And I'm giving you a far out point to look at. I think they're going to end up stripping these things away beforehand because they've seen how these sanctions work. They know how strong it is, what sort of lethal weapon it is. And I think what you're going to see is you're going to see these countries basically, if they put these sanctions on these Caribbean countries and other countries like Portugal, I think you're going to see them close down. I don't think it's just going to be Portugal and the EU citizenship by investment programs like Malta. I think all of the ones in the Caribbean, my whole thing is I think the EU will try to shut them down. And I don't think they will be the only one. I think the U.S. will probably get involved, and even Canada. These are real liberal countries. And so if you're thinking about doing this, because I'm going to tell you something, the residency by investment option would be the only option that you have. And the problem you have on pure tax haven type countries, all of these countries that are income tax free outside the Caribbean, most of all of them are in the Gulf region, and it's almost impossible to get a passport and citizenship there. If you want to get around the high taxes, you can get residency there. But then how are you going to get the citizenship quick? That's the problem. It could take you years and years and years. And then after years, you could still apply and not get the passport. Now, the Cayman Islands, they've got a tax-free environment as far as income taxes go. But the problem with the Caymans is you're going to have to invest, a couple million in a property if you want that option. And then you're having to wait years and years and years to get the passport if you can get it. There's no guarantee. I'm gonna tell you something. It's I remember quite a few people tried to get in the Dominica program back when 9/11 occurred because Grenada had pulled out, and they had put their money in on the Dominica program and they closed it down right in the middle. And a lot of people were just they couldn't get the passport even if they paid the money. They stopped everything, everybody in their tracks. And they couldn't get the passport. St. Kitts was the only one left. But if St. Kitts caves in this time, and it could happen, like I said, if you're sitting on the wall and you're thinking about doing this, don't listen to me. Go on the internet and look at the pressure the EU is looking at these citizenship by investment countries, because it's giving people ways, Russians, for instance, ways to get passports. Now they've cut, all these programs now have cut the Russians out. But it's just another reason for these the EUs to say, hey, we're not just scared of the Russians, we're scared of other people. Coming in with an atomic bomb that they hire could be an Al-Qaeda guy that they pay to come in, and he gets he's from Pakistan, and he's getting a passport in St. Kitts or one of the other fast track programs, and he brings a bomb in. It's just these are the fears that's going about, and they're scared to death of just letting anybody get these passports if you don't have a civil or criminal issue, because people can be a bad dude and not have a bad past. It just hadn't been discovered yet, and they're scared to death of this. And this is the thing I would be looking at sooner rather than later if you're looking at getting a second passport. Folks, if you want to learn more on this, again, hit the subscribe button at the right of your screen. You'll get new videos automatically. We got over 600 videos right now where you pick up new things, keep up to date on what's going on. And I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. And number 3 is, folks, if you want to learn more on this, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. Hit the top bar that says apply with us, fill out the questions. Hit that bottom bar that says send it to us. We deal with over 100 citizenship by investment, residency by investment countries all over the world. And I look forward to talking to you in the next video. Take care.